Welcome back, everybody. So these are all my favorites for the month of, what month are we in? April. Okay, I feel like so much happened this past month. I got to go on tour with my friend Valley James and help her out with basically doing the TM stuff, tour manager stuff. My part of the tour ended a little bit early, but she continued. So she's been on tour. I think she just got back. She was on tour for like a month and a half, which is wild. That is not the life for me. It's so much work. I had no idea. If you can imagine, whenever you go travel somewhere, there's usually a day to travel and then you kind of rest that day. And then after that, you can enjoy your travels, right? Whereas when you're on tour, every day is a travel day. And at the end of the travel day, you're working like lots of loading and unloading, reloading, a lot of waiting around and a lot of like deadlines. So it's, wow. I always thought that life would be a lot more, I don't know, chill in a way, but it was a lot harder than I thought. So yeah, props to all the musicians out there. If you haven't already, go listen to her record, Valley James. Her record is called Star and it just came out pretty recently. And yeah, I think it's beautiful. And I heard her perform her set several times, and each and every single time I was still very much amazed. Go show her some support and follow her on Instagram. I have a couple announcements. I am doing a closet sale with Cecilia Pairing and with Maddie next week. So if you are in the LA area, please swing by. I'm going to have obviously a lot of clothes, but also some homeware, maybe some beauty and fragrance stuff too, because I've collected a lot of stuff throughout the years. So I might even put some records together to sell there. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. So mark your calendars. And yeah, if you're in the LA area, I'd love to see you. For ceramics, I did recently list some pieces on my website on ceramwrap.com. A lot of the items sold, but some of them are still there. And I've been just really enjoying making one-off items. All the other items, such as like the cowboy boots and stuff, I don't think I'm going to be bringing it back for a while. So if you were ever interested in getting a cowboy boot, then now's your chance, because I don't think I'm going to bring that back. And if I do, then it's not going to be for a very long time. I'm going to try and step away from mass producing items and try to just focus on making one-off items. In March, I made some matcha bowls for my cousin who is really into making matcha. He's also a barista. Every time I've gone over to his house, he's always making matcha out of like a regular Corel kitchen bowl. And then I thought, well, I should probably make him one. So I ended up making him a few. I've been having a lot of fun throwing again, finally. So working behind the wheel and just making commissions for people. So yeah, I'm really proud of those matcha bowls that I made. So a couple of months ago, Smalls, which is a cat company, they make food and accessories for cats. They reached out to do an interview about my cats. So a photographer came in, took photos of Jason and I and the cats. And yeah, it was really nice because now we finally have professional photos with us and the cats. We did a little interview that's also on their blog. So I'll link that down below if you're interested in reading it. The photos are amazing. It's this guy named Jason who's a photographer. He did a lot of portraits and people and food. And yeah, he used this flash right outside of my house. So the flash was outside the house going in, and it made it look so cool. It felt like one of those early Into the Gloss photos or photo shoots where there's flash on everything. It was just super fun to shoot, and I'm gonna keep these photos forever. I kind of want to print them out too. So the other day I asked Jason if he wanted to go to this place called Bell's Bagels. It's kind of near my house. They serve matzo ball soup there. And I wanted to go, so I asked him, and I've had such bad luck showing up on time at that restaurant because I always like show up and they're not yet serving that dish or they're closed on that day. So Jason was like, why don't you just learn how to make it yourself? And so I followed Allison Roman's recipe and I ended up making my own, and I made the matzo balls a couple times. So the first time they were a little bit too, they're not compressed enough, right? So they're a little bit too airy, so they kind of tore apart. And then the second time it was a little bit too dense because I wrapped it up too tight. So if you have your own recipe or if you have any pointers on how to make matzo ball soup, let me know. My friend Nagisa sent her husband Sam's family recipe, so I might try that next. But if you have any other pointers, please let me know. It's my favorite soup of all time. So like I've mentioned, I've been really into matcha lately. And then I found these infinity jars that keep light out of your tins. So these types of tins, like the metal aluminum tins, are great. And that's usually what your matcha comes in. But I noticed that the one that I was using before this one, every time I shake it up, like if I shake up my matcha, then it would spill out, which means that there was an air leak. And so I bought a bigger bag of matcha from Sprouts. And then what I did was I poured it into this infinity jar, kind of like an amber glass jar, but if you look at it in the light, with light shining through it, it's more like bluish violet color, and it's super opaque. It looks almost black. What I do is I take the bigger bag and I refill this, so I decant it into this jar. In a side-by-side comparison from using a tin, or the tin that I was using before, and this keeps the matcha way fresher, way brighter green. I figured I'd mention it here because you can also use it for your vitamins or your beauty products. So yeah, infinity jars or infinity glass. I'd never heard of it before until doing a little bit of research on how to keep matcha fresh. Also on the subject of matcha, I got the best PR package ever from Rocky's Matcha and Say Beauty. They did a collaboration together and they came out with a little kit. This is the Glowy Super Gel in Warm Glow. And this is what I've been using right after my moisturizer in the morning, right after my sunscreen. I'll put a couple pumps of this in my hands and just run it all over my face, and it gives you this like lit from within glow. You know that Chanel balm, the translucent balm that people have been putting on their cheeks? So it gives me that finish. So it's not like a highlighter in the way that liquid highlighters are, or like concentrated highlighters are. It just gives you a little bit of a highlight, and when you put your foundation on top, it makes your skin just ultra glowy wherever you want it, but not in an oily way. And then lately, I've just been using concealer on my face, and I've never used anything from IT Cosmetics before. I think this is the ugliest packaging, but again, it's IT Cosmetics Do It All. It's the serum, or multivitamin serum, radiant concealer. And I'm not happy with the packaging, but I think the product itself works so well. And whenever I wear this, I feel like my skin looks so awake and so moisturized. So I've been using this, and their brushes are fantastic. Like this is a little brush that looks like a fingertip basically. So it's great for pinpointing. I've been using this brush as my first steps to tap the product in, and then I'll use a more dense brush to blend everything out. These two together, fantastic combination. In terms of fragrance, so, okay, I need to preface this by saying that I really do like the Le Labo Synthol, just like everyone else. I think it's a fantastic scent. I've had a bottle of it, and on me, I feel like it's too strong on me. Even the way that I wear it, which is I only do one squirt, for some reason, it stays for too long on me, and it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. And so throughout the years, I've used other brands that are very similar to the Le Labo Synthol 33. So Commodity Book, for instance, it's a fresher take on that scent. But then I found this is from Lake and Sky. It's called Synthol Gray. The packaging, I will say, is pretty boring, but I think it's the best Synthol fragrance for me because I don't like it to stick around for too long. I don't like it to linger on my clothes and stuff. This is almost like a body spray in that when you spray it first thing in the morning, throughout the day, it'll start to disappear and you won't smell it anymore. So it's not for everyone. It's not for the person who wants their perfume to last for 18 hours. You have the Labo for that. This is more for the person who wants a body spray or a lighter, fresher take on that scent. So I've been loving this, and I just do one spray in the morning and it doesn't linger for too long. And it's not one of those fragrances where if you spray it into your clothes, then you can smell it the next day either, which some of my fragrances do that. I like this, and I think it's also great for layering as well. It's just a nice like clean girl scent. And on the opposite spectrum of that, I got this in PR from Amika. They just did a collaboration with Ellis Brooklyn Miami Nectar. It's the ultimate summertime fragrance. And this is the opposite spectrum in that when I think of Synthol 33, when I think of this or the clean girl type of scent, that's a different demographic from someone who will buy the Ellis Brooklyn Miami Nectar scent. This is more of like the Coachella party girl vibe or the Brazilian boom boom cream kind of girl. This is so fun, and I wasn't sure if I would like this, so I was using this little sample for the last few days. According to the notes, it's not quite something that I would like, even though I really do like Brazilian Boom Boom Cream. I think this smells so good, and the packaging is beautiful too. It's like magnetized, so it's ultra fancy. I've never heard of this fragrance brand before, so if you have any other recommendations that are similar to Miami Nectar, please let me know. It smells like a pina colada. So the notes are pink pineapple, palm leaves, coconut water. There's wild jasmine, plumeria, lily of the valley. And the dry down is tree moss, salted woods, sweet amber woods, and vanilla. The dry down is perfect, and it is one of those fragrances where if you spray it on your shirt or spray it on a sweater and then you put it on the following day, you will still smell the dry down, but it's so cozy and comforting. And as I mentioned, they also did a collaboration with Amika. I think this is a limited time offering, so if you are in the market for a new dry shampoo, this is one of my favorite dry shampoos out there. Now it's in this wonderful fragrance. It smells amazing. I'm using it in my hair today. If you haven't tried Amika's Perk Up Dry Shampoo, it's one of those dry shampoos that you can also use as a texturizing spray. So if you're going to be styling your hair and you want it to really stick, then like put a layer of this on. Oh, and I was using it incorrectly in the past. I was spraying it directly to my scalp. And I know a lot of people say that they don't like the gritty feeling of dry shampoo. What you're supposed to do is just hold your hair out and spray it in your hair, not directly on your scalp. Since trying that method, dry shampoo, like aerosol dry shampoos, have worked just so much better for me. Also, if you like the vacation scent, the eau de toilette scent that I mentioned maybe a year ago, maybe a couple of years ago, this is very much in the same family. The only thing is that this one, the vacation one, smells a bit more sunscreen-y, like 1980s, 1990s sunscreen. This one's a little bit more pina colada, fresher, fruity scent. Oh my gosh, when I got back from tour, my skin was just so disgusting. And I felt like anytime I put makeup on, I could just see my pores just like pop out. Like it was just not good. So then I put this mask on. This is from Naturium. It's the AHA exfoliating mask, 10%. It's fantastic. So I know I recommended the Kate Somerville Exfoliate a while ago, and that is super expensive. It's, if I remember correctly, it was around like $85 for a tube of it. This one's a lot cheaper and it does the exact same thing. I feel like it really did clear up all that congestion on my skin. So yeah, fantastic product. It works a little too well, I think. Yeah, using this exfoliant or using any exfoliant really, if you do it correctly, it really helps all the other skincare products work better on your skin, like really seep in there and work on your skin. And it makes makeup look more even. That's one of the things that I try to do constantly to keep my skin looking fresh. I was recommended this product because I started getting like a rash right above my eyes. And it was really irritable. I was just itching it, and as I was itching it, it would spread, you know? And so Valley had this in her bag. This is the Biotech Topical Skin Spray, but the key ingredient is hypochlorous acid, which is what's also in the Tower 28 spray and Miracle Molecule. I was reading up on it, and people use it in hospitals, people use it on babies. It's safe for your eyelids. So I used it, and right away, the rash started calming down, and then it completely went away. And she has issues with like autoimmune disease, so her skin breaks out a lot in hives. Ever since using this, she said that her skin's healed so much faster. So yeah, I got myself a bottle, and I've been using it whenever I feel a little rash coming on. Like sometimes I get them on my neck. Yeah, so if you have any issues with your skin, like eczema or rashes, please try this out. Try like a smaller bottle of it. And if it works for you, then that's great, because it really saved me on that tour. Also, if you have like expired makeup that you just have to wear, like an expired blush or an expired eyeshadow, people were saying that they'll just apply all their makeup and then use this almost like a setting spray, and it kills all the bacteria from the expired makeup. So I feel like makeup artists can really benefit from using this too. So yeah, I mean, it's just been working so well for me, and that's why I want to share it with you. Yeah, do some research on hypochlorous acid, because I know a lot of other brands make the same thing. So maybe you can find one that works better for you. So for as long as I can remember, I've been using Turkish towels. The reason why I like them so much is because I feel like terry towels, the really thick, plushy terry towels, just take forever to dry. So they're not very energy efficient, and they take up a lot of space. I usually live in a small space, so I can't really afford to spare a whole dresser drawer to towels. Anyway, on Quince, I saw that they have these waffle Turkish towels made of 100% organic cotton. And so I snagged 2 of them in this beautiful burnt sienna color. They are so gushy and they're absorbent and they just feel so much better than the traditional Turkish towel that I've been using for the last few years. And I like them way more than terry towels because they dry a lot quicker. They're more energy efficient in that way. And yeah, so it's kind of like the best of both worlds. Jason and I are Costco people, and I always get snacks there because whenever I go to work, I need something to snack on because I don't want to get hangry throughout the day. And I recently picked these up. It comes in a big box of a bunch of them, but there's 2 flavors, blueberry and raspberry. But these are from Nature's Bakery. They're the fig bars, so they taste just like Fig Newtons, but more substantial. They're incredibly tasty and they're made of whole grains and real fruit. It's plant-based, there's no high fructose corn syrup, it's vegan, dairy-free, nut-free, vegan, and kosher. If you can find these at your Costco, please try them out. A YouTube that I've been watching is my friend Tasha Young. So she is a writer. So I met her in Island Park when she was living in LA, and then since then she moved to New York, and then to London, and then Paris, and then now she's in Berlin. Her channel kind of reminds me of Lizzie Hadfield's and Brittany Bathgate's channel. So kind of fashion girls, really into music, but she's also incredibly smart, like really into art. She has an NTS channel, so she's like really into ambient music. Yeah, she's been making videos lately and posting them, and they're so calming to watch. It's just kind of a nice change to see someone who is in Germany right now, and I think in like a few months she might be somewhere else. Yeah, check out her channel, show her some support, tell her I sent you. I really want to see her grow and succeed on this platform. Finally, we're gonna get to some Empties. This is a room spray from Aesop. It smells incredible. It's the geranium, grapefruit, jasmine scent. I got this as a gift, so it's a very indulgent gift. However, if it comes to repurchasing this, I probably wouldn't. This is $61, which is too much for me to spend on a room spray, I think. But as a gift, I think it's great. I just wouldn't splurge on myself in this way. If it were between a candle and a room spray, I feel more safe using a room spray. But yeah, it's just kind of indulgent to spend $61. It was nice while I had it though. I also just finished this. This is from Necessaire. It's the Body Vitamin C serum, and this is meant to be used underneath your moisturizer. However, I've been using it in lieu of moisturizer, and I really like that it's not scented, so that I can spray a perfume over it and it will really cling on and make the perfume last all day. Yeah, I really like this. It's just a nice little serum. It feels like it's just skincare for your body. And I will say Necessaire's packaging is stunning, so yeah, I probably will be repurchasing this because I really enjoyed it, and it did last a very long time for me. Oh yeah, a couple brow things from Benefit. So this is the Precisely My Brow pencil. I feel like I plow through brow pencils so quickly, so if you have a recommendation for a brow pomade or a brow powder, let me know because I would like to switch to something that will last me a little bit longer. And then the Precisely My Brow wax. I started these 2 at the same time, so it feels kind of dry. There might still be some product in here, but it just feels a little too dry for me. So I'm also going to be letting that go too, but I would totally repurchase this because it's kind of like the Boy Brow from Glossier, but a little bit more color, a little bit more pigment. So I really do like this. I probably won't be repurchasing this. That's all for the Empties. Yeah, so those are all my favorites for the month of April. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, I'll link everything in the description box. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.